Yeah, this MGK album is not good.
Oh, see, I wasn't going to let you guys go.
This is some of the most insultingly generic, non-specific pop punk I have heard in my life. The tracks that incorporate trap beats suck. The mix most of the time is so compressed that it is mushy. Okay, Anthony, let's do this. Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Machine Gun Kelly record, Mainstream Sellout. This is a brand new LP from rapper gone punk rocker Machine Gun Kelly. And yeah, it's not very good. Wait, I said I wasn't gonna do that this time. I wasn't gonna do that. She's a pop girl, she's a goth girl. Spaceships in the sky and also the government tapping his phone? Like, MGK's constantly wavering back and forth between not knowing where he's going, but then also making his struggles with mental health sound like a teeny bopper type experience.
Oh, see, I wasn't going to let you guys go. And depending on how bad the song is or how I'm feeling during it, I may or may not ignore the poll. The poor emo girls, they're never going to live this song down. A lot of them are probably going to transition out of being emo girls because this track's really fucking up the emo girl game. It's giving the emo girl a bad rap.
People must be really starving for this sound because, as far as pop punk goes generally, this was pretty mediocre. Even with Travis Barker there to give MGK all the punk cred that he can. You know, I will say this, Mainstream Sellout has a track list that does not just cause my ears to glaze over with every song kind of, you know, blurring into the other songs in the track list, so... But am I remembering these tracks for good reasons? Much of the time, not really. We have Drug Dealer with Lil Wayne, which I think is about as trashy as pop rock in 2022 is gonna get. But then MGK's portrayal of his history with substance abuse through this lens of like a sort of romantic drug dealer relationship is another, because it's corny. Like, it's not enough to call it low-hanging fruit. This fruit has weeks ago fallen off the tree, it's rotting on the ground full of maggots, and MGK is spitefully scooping it up and just biting into it, really ripping through it like he's starving to death. Also, Wayne's feature on the back end is a traumatic reminder of his rebirth era. Like, you already had the song A, which was a teaser. I don't know why that one came out as a single and not this one instead. It feels like a more fleshed out song. A, by comparison, just sounds like Lil Wayne and MGK recording on the fly after they were high out of their minds. Moving on to the title track, which I think is just a total non-starter. It's just MGK bitterly complaining about people critiquing him as being a poser and ruining punk music, and I really don't care at all about real punks whining about fake punks, but I care even less about fake punks whining about real punks whining about fake punks. That's just adding another layer to the shit toilet paper lasagna. Next, we have the track Makeup Sex, which is another mediocre song featuring Black Bear. It worked last time, so why not do it again? This time around, though, it is harder to stomach each other, but, you know, making it sound like really cool and sexy, like we're just fighting and fucking all the time. They're just a quirky couple. But you know what? Next, we have Emo Girl, which I do think has its catchy moments. It's the closest thing for me this record comes to being a guilty pleasure. In order to enjoy it, I do have to sort of ignore the implications of it. Let's look into some of MGK's lyrics here, because they feel more vague than they are specific to emo girls much of the time. Like the opening lyric, "Makeup by the mirror in her bedroom." Emo girls have figured out this one weird trick, this one weird convenient placement trick for their makeup. They put it by the mirror in the bedroom. Makeup artists are shaking. Plus, she takes pics with lipstick, smokes cigarettes, knows all the words to the trap songs. She has a preference on dick size as well. You're almost describing everything that breathes at this point. How are you not mentioning snakebite piercings or raccoon highlights? And not even a single roar on this track. This is my song about football players. He wears pants and he sleeps with a nightlight. Drives a car and he flushes the toilet. He's a football player. From here, MGK gets another anthemic number out of the way with 5150, which, yes, I do think features one of the better tunes here, but it still runs into this awkward wall where it feels as if he's taking his mental struggles and giving them a weirdly commercial appeal, which in a way I get that he does have a point, because I myself hate gatekeeping, I hate pretentious attitudes.
Meanwhile, at home.
This is some of the most insultingly generic, non-specific pop punk I have heard in my life. The tracks that incorporate trap beats suck. The mix most of the time is so compressed that it is mushy, sloshy, sounds disgusting. I could not pick out MGK as a pop punk singer from a lineup of pop punk singers because his vocals are truly that bland. The lyrics read like angsty trite from a bad coming-of-age indie film. Ladybird, but make it horrible. Plus, it's about as rebellious and as punk rock as a trip to Disneyland. This new MGK album is not good.
All I want is emo girl. I hate this song. It's pure trash. Emo girls, this just portrays them as a sick, shallow stereotype. Emo girls aren't a sexuality. They're not your fetish, okay? Don't objectify emo girls. They're genuinely emo for personal reasons. They're not your sex objects. MGK and Willow. Let the emo girls live. Okay? Don't just look at them like they're a piece of meat with black eyeliner on them. They're people. Treat them like people, not like stereotypes. What the hell's wrong with you? This is disgusting. This track is gross. Oh, see, I wasn't going to let you guys go. Dime a dozen pop punk instrumentals with songs that see the lines between all this toxic behavior and self-loathing and glorification being blurred in some really questionable ways. I will end this review with what I think is the strongest case against MGK making punk music. And it's not because he's a poser and he's ignorant and he's just, making not hardcore music that's really bad and poppy and so on and so forth. Really, the worst thing about MGK making punk is that in every way, his ethos in his songs feeds into the worst stereotypes of punk. Like, being punk doesn't mean anything more than faux rebellion and being an emotionally depraved, narcissistic little shit. So, in a way, it's like, yeah, he's just giving it a bad name a little bit, which, may be tough because punk is full of its share of bad actors. That is definitely true. But you know what? MGK, he's not helping. I'm feeling a light to decent 1 on this one. Transition. Have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well.